Alright? Let's move on to question number 11. Again, this one. If you give me jawapan 9/30, you can only get 1 mark. Because because it can be simplified further. Thus, you only get 1 mark for this one. So either you change it into decimal or you change it into fraction simplest term. But let's discuss this one again. Common question, almost every year this comes out. Again, almost every time when this question comes out in your exam paper, same thing happen. Not reading the first part of the sentence where it says by writing each number correct to one significant figure. It does not say the final answer need to be in one significant figure. Bukan. So that means that's 5 and that's 4. And this one is 900. And square root of 900 is not 300. To put it into perspective, 900 means 9 times 100. So that means square root of 9 times square root of 100. If you want to break down your thinking process in your brain, that is how it breaks down into. And that is why square root of 900 and it is 30. And you can quickly double check with your head. 30 times 30, is it equals to 900? Yes. And definitely 300 times 300 is not equals to 900. So, siapa yang bagi 300 atau double check your head on that particular file. Reboot ya. Okay. So, that means 5 plus 4, that's 9 over 30. Okay. Simplify this one, that's 3 out of 10. You can leave it as 3 out of 10 or you can put it into fraction. Either way, it's still correct. Okay. So, next question. Question number 12 here. Again, this one, all you have to do is just replace b minus 2. So, that means 5 times minus 2 plus 7. Again, the most common mistake here is ignoring the negative sign. So, remember to make sure and you get negative 3. Negative 10 plus 7. Again, no checking pakai calculator. Biasakan. Rearrange the numbers. Rearrange the formula to make D the subject so you can do all the balancing. So, plus 9 both sides. Divide 4 both sides. And you get that one as your final answer. Okay, Ania, be careful lah. Nombor 9 na tu, jangan buat macam A. Kalau teacher biasa sudah melihat. Tapi takut teacher, kalau ngam examiner tu, the good mood. Pekeninya, why is just Bruneian people? Masuk YouTube sabar Cancel. Okay, so please make sure that one, okay? Right. I need this particular page. Not a lot are targeting for this one, but it's alright. When it says relative frequency, the question when it says relative frequency, what is the frequency of this one? Relative with the whole thing. Relative to the whole thing. So, if you write down 9 is a frequency, but it is not the relative frequency. So, it should be what? It should be 9. So, in other words, relative frequency, something macam probability. What's the frequency of it with relative to the whole thing? Okay, frequency of it relative to the whole thing. Because the question doesn't ask find the frequency. If the question asks frequency, it will be 9. But this question asking for relative frequency. So what is the frequency relative to the whole thing? So the whole thing ada 20, so just 9 out of 20. Okay, you make it into a numerical value. Now with that, when the question is asking for the number of days, Kamal will expect to receive 11 or more. Kalau 160. The original values, table of values, this is the value for how many days? 20 days. So you just do your proportion. Okay? So you just count how many 11 or more. That means berapa? 11 or more. Is it 4 or 6? 6. Because 16 or more dalam kategori more. Okay? So that means relative to the whole thing, the original data is 6 out of 20 where Kamal would receive 11 or more. Tapi the question wants for 160 days, so you just finding out of 160 days, how many is that? Equals to 40. Just like that. Okay, sabar. Itu bukan magic okay, 6 times 8 equals to 48. If people are doubting my mathematical ability. Okay? Write in standard form. Standard form, place value. Is that anything wrong? No? Okay. Standard place value. This is 10 to the power of 0. Ones, This is ones. This is 10, 0. This is 10, 1. This is 10, 2. This is 10,000. 10,000. 100,000. Million. And then 10 million. Artinya 4 berada arah 10 million. Teacher pakai place value di sini. And my place value, I change it into index form. Okay, that's ones, tens, 100,000, 10,000, 100,000, million, 10 million. So 4 ni arah 10 million. So 4.2 times 10 to the power of 7. Catat. Okay, kamu kira move boleh, kamu kira kosong boleh. Ni teacher bagi another option lagi. Okay, especially to those yang salah when you use your own method. Now I will use the same method for part B because this is where most of you amazing calculationnya, like never seen before. So good. So I look at the place value. So I look at the index sana is -3, -4. So place value besides 10 to the power of 0, which is ones, after the decimal point is the 10th, right? And the 10th is equivalent to 10 to the power of 10th. 10 to the power of 10th. 10 to the power of 10 to the power of? Kan? Reciprocal. Negative index. You do know this one, right? 10 to the power of minus. Okay. I'll just write it down here, just in case. So this is 10th. Okay? Alright. So the word form, the index form, the fraction form. Okay, all of equivalent. Alright. Okay. So according to place value, so 10 to the power of 0 is the ones. After decimal point, that's the 10th. That's the 100th. That's the 1,000th. 10,000. Singkat sana sajalah. Okay lah. 100,000. Okay, now why I'm doing this one? Because I want to represent this one pakai this place value. So 1.3 times 10 to the power 4 means 1 nya ni arah sini. Okay, the ones, which means 7 and 4 ni arah okay. This is just the expanded version of the, so sama macam 1.3 is 0.00013. Okay, arah 1 ni arah the 10,000. Terus kata 10, 100,000. Yes, 10,000. Okay, sama ni. Okay, so campur and I got 3, 5, 7. Correct? Okay, artinya my standard form, because the question asking for standard form would be, oh, sorry, I need to put that in the same. Okay, which means 1 digit, 7.53 times 10. What is the place value for number 7? And that's your final answer. You can also sum IC changing it into ordinary numbers. That's fine as well. So 0.0074, do the addition and then change it back into index form. Sama joinnya equals to 7.53 times 10 to the power minus 3. Sini teacher bagi shortcut lah. So we only consider it as we write it as in the form of the place value index form terus. Okay, so that's how you get 7.53 times 10 to the minus 3. Or you can campur saja tu decimal yang di atas sudah dicampur, you add it, still sama joinnya, and change it into index form. Okay? So not a lot lurusan ya. So either you're changing into ordinary numbers, did some work, and then changing back ordinary numbers to standard form. So kalau macam ni, you don't have to worry because you know exactly what is the value for each digit. Okay, question number 15. Can anybody tell me what is the keyword sini? Similar. And similar kata ni pakai method proportion. Proportion for corresponding sides. Okay, pakai ratio of corresponding sides. So easier first, and I tell you this helps you a lot, if you write down that. So you know which vertex corresponds to which vertex. So this is for the triangle. So this is for the first triangle. This is for the second triangle. So artinya A. Now why this is very crucial? Because both A and B uses two points. Share the same 2 points, B and C. However, the C in triangle 1 does not correspond to the same C in triangle 2. So thus writing this down from the given sentence will tell you which corresponding point. Okay, so calculate BD. So BD arah triangle 1 or 2? 2 so BD. So BD, B correspondsnya B and C. Okay, equals to you take one value from triangle 2. Which one? Which one? BD sudah kita dipakai. Apa lagi? CB. Okay. So CB from triangle 2, tapi CB is A, B. Careful lah. Sana yang banyak salah membuat. So CB is corresponding to AB. Be careful with that one. And from there, then you can put in the values. BD yang dicari, BC is 8, CB is 8, AB is 5. You don't have to worry lagi yang mana corresponding because you already done that in the first step. That is why it's so crucial for you to identify the corresponding vertex by writing it above each other, on top of each other. Okay, multiply by 8 both sides. You get 64 over 5, which is a calculation that is much more easier for you to do. And 64 divided by 5 would be, kenapa ya pakai calculator tu? Okay, 12.8. Do the calculation manually supaya takkan kamu membuat jua, and you get 12.8. So, question on similar, ya ada 3. 1, find unknown side. 1, the second one, when it comes to area. Kalau value of area kena bagi. And the third one, kalau volume yang kena bagi. So, 3 different types of question. Same method pakai proportion. However, for area, ratio for area 1, area 2 equals to side 1, side 2 square. Okay. Volume of 2 solids, you take the ratio of the sides, the corresponding ratio of the sides, and then cube. Okay, ini soalan yang common on similarity. Of course, kalau ya area sama volume, markahnya selalunya 3 or more. Okay, depending on the question. I think Arab paper 2 ada satu soalan on similar, which I already discussed. Okay, look at the video solution that I've given. So this one pun not a lot attempt. Tapi favorite question, similar favorite question, but don't know which one. Either ya pakai similar side saja, ataupun masukkannya area, ataupun masukkannya volume. So be prepared on that one. Ni masih John, dah teacher tahu kenapa di soalan is a struggle. Dah teacher tahu, no calculation is necessary benarnya. No calculation is necessary. Tapi dapat, we tackle it again. Let's look at the first one. So, in order for you to identify R, you need to draw the equation y equals to 2x, y equals to minus x plus 4, and x equals to 0. Lepas 1, then baru ketani shade, di mana ya greater than, di mana ya less than, and di mana ya greater than. Okay, so first step is this one. Second step is draw. And third step is identify the region. And then baru your final answer where R is. So, y equals to 2x. Di mana y equals to 2x? Y equals to 2x berada di, dah tahu. What is the y-intercept for y equals to 2x? 0. There is no kan toh? So artinya you start 0. Gradientnya berapa? 2. The coefficient of x is the gradient. Now gradient, remember, rise over run. So that means 2 over 1. From 0 rise to 1 to run. Ke kanan because yang positif. Okay. Dah cukup ketani mau 3 point. Boleh lagi. From that point, rise 1 to 1. So that's points. So you get 3 points. Sana solid untuk kamu draw the line. And then, okay, ruler. Draw. Apa kan? Nah, jangan karet. Option, you want to write down the equation of not, that's option. But lagi better write down just to be sure. Is that alright? Next one, y equals to minus x plus 4. You start at 4, pandai. Start at 4. Gradientnya berapa? Minus 1. So 1 over minus 1 lah ha. 1 over minus 1. Rise 1. Nampak? Okay. Rise 1. And then to the left. So artinya sini samalah jua macam ni patternnya. Catat. Okay? Okay, ruler. Apa Hakim? Indah faham? Maksud yang mana? Okay, you start with 4. Because that's the y-intercept. So you start with 4. The gradient is minus 1. Kata ni mana ada rise negatif kan? So artinya rise 1. Tapi untuk buat negatif, dia paksa ke kiri, bukan ke bawah. Bukan kolom vektor. Rise over run, rise and then run, negatifnya ke kiri, kanan positif. So ni because yang negatif, artinya kata ni run ke kiri. Okay, so ke kiri, that's why pointsnya di sini. So you get that one. So artinya for the gradient for all of the points tu sama jualah, cemato sama gradientnya. So pakai that knowledge, then you get all the points just to make sure that your line is straight. Kan 3 points. Untuk straight line 2 points is enough. Remember what I said last year, 2 points is enough, but 3 untuk mengkonfirmkan. Okay? Tapi jangan tampak 5 tu lebih jual luan-luan juga. Mun 3 sudah cukup, sudahlah. Walaupun kota 4 tak. 1 pun cukup tak. Okay. It's good. Everybody pay attention. Okay, good. Okay, and then the next one, x equal to 0 is a straight line touching x axis at 0. So would it be a vertical line or would it be a horizontal line? Would it be? Kalau horizontal, semua x tu detachnya. Kalau yang x nya ada 0, dia juara 0 tu ni kan? 1 pun ya touch juga, 2 ya juga, 3 ya juga. Jadi mana 1? Ya hanya 1. Okay, 1 saya dipilih. Okay, jangan banyak-banyak. So di sini saja. Setiap ada 1 saja. Okay, so di sini x equal to 0. Okay, sini tadi apa? Y equals to minus x plus 4. Okay, so we have done step number 1. We have drawn. Next one, we identify. The first one, yang mau greater. So greater artinya sebelah sini greater. Untuk y2x ni greater sebelah sana. Okay. Next one, y is less than minus x. So less than, so this is your minus x, less than is di bawah sini. Okay. And next one, x is greater than 0. So x is this line tadi kan? Greater than 0 is this one. So di mana ketiga-tiga overlap? Sana. R-nya sini. That's it. Another clue is, selalunya soalan ni, kamu nampak tu, kalau kamu pegang paper tu jauh, janganlah, karena orang belakang nampak macam ni. kepala kamu saja sana, kamu ada nampak tu satu kawasan di mana tiga-tiga atuk enclose one area. Macam contoh macam this one. Sini boleh kan However, this one only 3 line saja. Teacher okey. Kamu yang okey. So yang di bawah tu dia dapat dipakai pasal you only y equal to minus x plus 4 sama y equal to 2x. X equal to 0 macam ada yan, dia jawab apa. Itu yang dia signifikan lah. Itu yang bukan that kawasan. Selalunya macam tu lah. Kalau kefahaman teacher. Dulu teacher macam tu. Teacher always try find shortcuts. Okay, so that's your R. Dapatkan boleh kan ni lagi Your struggle is the drawing part, isn't it? Not the identifying region. Because once you've managed to draw, you would know where the region is. So, my best advice is macam what I did just now. You identify di mana y-intercept. From y-intercept, you kira rise over run. That's it. Okay, then you get those lines. Favorite juga. Hantar berapa video ni buat untuk soalan ni sa angle ni. Okay, A, B, C, D points on A, circle A. Again, when questions like this, you need to make sure the data that's given in the question is on the diagram as well. Kalau indah, then you add it in. So here, points circle center O. BAD is 120. Yes, it's 120 is there. OBC is 20. Yes, it's there. Find the value of X. Day kacang. Apa yang kamu nampak sini? Kamu nampak triangle? Yes, you can see that triangle. Isosceles because OB sama OC are radius. Okay, good. Hindi pulang berguna yet. You also see this triangle. Any significance with this triangle? Yes, apa? Okay, this triangle significance-nya dengan the smaller triangle because these two triangles have the same base. Sama. Angle at the center equals to twice angle at the circumference. Okay, so itu relationnya. Apa lagi nampak? Nada Z. Z nada. Nada Z, nada F, nada C because nada parallel lines. Nada. So no Z, no F, no C. Nada masuk dalam book. Okay. Tapi kita ni ada ni. Ni dipanggil apa? Cyclic quadrilateral. It is a quadrilateral 4 sides tetapi because all of the 4 vertex of the quadrilateral touches the circumference, so it's called a cyclic quadrilateral. And the property of cyclic quadrilateral is semua quadrilateral sumnya is 360, but specific cyclic quadrilateral is opposite angles. Yes, opposite angles is 180. So Does all those discussion help? Sort of. Because of this isosceles triangle, that means ini 20. And because this is cyclic quadrilateral, that means 120 plus the opposite angle equals to 180. Simplify that one and you get your x is equals to 40. Okay, opposite angles. 180 bukannya straight line Opposite angles of cyclic quad. Kenapa my handwriting ni macam makin besar? Okay. Alright. Next, find the value of y. We use study. Okay. Angle at the center is equal to twice angle at the circumference. However, we do not have angle at the center yet, but we can find it because sum of angle in the triangle is equals to which is equals to 140. So 140 di sini, that means y is 140 divided by 2, which is equals to 70. Okay. Now makin nampak properties makin biasa sudah, can identify the property. So the more you do it, the easier that it gets. Sampatkan ni insyaAllah. 125 negative index. So boleh jadikan positif dulu. Okay. And then the denominator, the fraction, okay, the fractional index, the denominator represents the root. The numerator represents the power. Very good. Okay. AM over N. This one represents the root. This one represents the power. Okay. So that means this one is a cube root of 125 to the power of 1. So to the power of 1 teacher dah buat lah. So cube root of 125 is 5. So a few numbers yang dah nampak? Dah nampak ke apa? Macam mana tungannya yang ada? Macam mana? Kan nampak soalan. Okay. Alright. Now a few numbers that you should know already macam 36, 64, 125. Those are square numbers, those are cube numbers. Jadi your calculation for paper 1 much more easier. You will familiarize yourself. So 64 is one of those number that is a square number. That is also a cube number. Number square and number square and number cube. 64. Because 64 can be also as 8 square, also as 4 cube. Okay, so familiarize yourself with those numbers. So 125 is one of those number cubes. This one. So same concept here. Macam-macam jawapannya. Complicated jawapannya. Sedangkan kalau kamu lihat A cube over 4A tu boleh disimplify. So artinya sini satu, sini satu tinggal 2. So you are actually simplifying this one. Okay, again the fractional index, the numerator is the power, the denominator is the root. So teacher buat root dulu. A square over 4, powernya 3. Ni dalam kepala pulang ni, tapi teacher write it down lah Dalam kepala jua, you should know that means, okay? And dalam kepala jua, you should know the square root of a number square equal to the number itself. So which means the square root of A square is A. Square root of 4 is actually square root of 2 square, which means equals to, and from there you can get your final answer, A to the power of A cube over 8. Because 2 cube is 8. 2 markah. Okay? You get familiar with this if you're familiar with your law of indices. So this one dalam 2 soalan ni, fractional indices plays an important role. The mass of a bag of almonds is 125. Correct to the nearest gram. Write down the lower bound. Most of you are able to do this one, but let me just Demonstrate that one by using a number line. Because it says the nearest gram, so 125 and 126. Sini 124. Lower bound would be here, which is 124.5. What is this called? Upper bound. What's the upper bound for this measurement? 125.5. Kamu pakai index kah? 125.5. The mass of a large box is 500 grams, correct to the nearest 10 grams. The mass of a small box, 250 grams, correct to the nearest gram. 250 is not the jawapan. Calculate the upper bound of the difference between the mass of a large box and the mass of a small box. You know that the calculation will involve minus. Upper bound means apa? The maximum value of the difference. Maximum. You want to find the maximum. Nombor yang paling besar. So, nombor yang paling besar kamu dapat 250. Salah. Ada lagi nombor paling besar lagi dari itu. And you get the big number if awal-awal sekali you have big, the largest one, tolak small. Okay? The largest one, tolak the small. So, of course, to get that one, small box, large box minus small box. Tetapi, large box satu kamu ambil dia punya upper bound. The small box kamu ambil dia punya lower bound. Jangan kamu ambil upper bound. Yang upper bound tolak upper bound. Yes, you get that. Tapi kalau if you take upper bound, tolak lower bound, besar je lagi difference-nya tu. Okay, gitu. Alright. Okay, so let's do our 510 grams. Artinya sini 510, sini 490. Kita ni mau upper bound. So upper bound is berapa? 505. Okay, lower bound of small box. So I do the small box here. 250. Errornya 10, which means here 260, 240. We want the lower bound here, which is what, Ridwan? Yes, 245. So lower bound is 245. Ditolak, and you should get your answer. 260. Ha? Kenapa small box 245? Kau mau berapa? 255. Kalau 505 minus 255, you will get rendah lagi, sikit lagi. Ketani mau yang paling besar difference-nya. Lurus ke tu? Lurus ke teacher punya common sense? Lurus, Okay.